Hi, good afternoon, everybody. This is Rech, physical therapist at Rech Physio, and this is the exercise that we're going to do today. It's going to be another one that's every minute on the minute, and there's 4 exercises, and we're going to try to do 4 to 5 rounds, depending on how I feel. So the first one is going to be thrusters. So you're going to do a squat. You can have a weight if you want to hold a weight. You're going to squat, and your arm's going to go up above you. And so we're just going to do as many of those as you can in a minute. Each minute, you don't have to do the exercises for the whole minute, but if you can, you want to try to do that. If you need to have 30 seconds of rest or however much rest within that minute, you can just do whatever you need to fit your exercise level. So for the thrusters, if that first, if just doing it like a squat and then pushing up is a little too hard for you, you can have a chair behind you so you can sit on something and then go back up. Or you can do it without a weight, or maybe if going all the way down to kind of like a squat position is a little tough, you can maybe do a mini squat and then push up like that. Or if your balance is a little off and you need to hold on to something, do it next to the counter, and maybe you just have a weight, or maybe it's just a can of vegetables in one hand, and maybe just do a little squat and then up with the one hand. And then every other round, maybe just switch hands. If you're just doing it with the one hand, or do 30 seconds or however much, just split the time. That's kind of some variations for that one. The next exercise is a deadlift. So I have my barbell that I'll use, but like I always say, a milk crate or any sort of basket is a great thing to use. I just got this for about $2 at Goodwill. So get a basket, put some weights in it. If it's a stack of magazines or some vegetable cans, whatever. So for the deadlift, you want your feet about shoulder width apart, a little bit of bend in the knees, and most of the motion is going to be coming at your hips. You want your trunk to be stable, activate your abs. You're going to bend down at the hips and then come up. You're going to try to squeeze your glutes. Pay attention not to overextend, but just go up straight. If you do have a little bit of back pain, maybe even not going quite super straight so you don't irritate your spine there. So most of the motion is up the hips, a little bit of bend at the knees. Make sure you're tightening the abs to stabilize the low back. Okay, so you can vary the amount of weight, and you can also vary the height. So if reaching all the way down this far is a little too tough for you, put it on a step or a box or something so it's not so far, and you're just doing it for less of a range of motion. Okay. Next is going to be shoulder around the world. So you can take a little bit of a weight, or I have some plates that I'll use. So you're going to have your arms out in front of you like this, and then you're going to go above your head, and then you're going to go the opposite way, and try to have your arms locked out each rep. So I go opposite directions each time, so that way you don't get momentum, and you're not using momentum, you're using the muscles to stabilize your shoulders. So again, use whatever weight that works for you. If that's just a can of beans, then that's great. If it's something a little heavier, then that's awesome too. And then the last one, exercise, is going to be side planks. So you're on your forearm, you can do it leg straight, and then you're lifting up, keeping your shoulder, hip, and feet in line. And try not to turn forward or backwards, trying to stay really straight like a plank. Okay? If that one's a little tough, you can bend the knees and do it that way. If you need a little extra cushion, put a towel or something under your forearm. That might help too. If doing it on the floor is a little tough, you can maybe grab a counter. So that way it's a little higher. And so you're like that, and then just try to hold and balance like that on the counter. And then kind of similarly, a little bit easier would be to do it against the wall. You can put your forearm on the wall and try to hold like that. Okay, so those are the 4 exercises. So we're going to try to do 4 or 5 rounds of those, a minute for each exercise. and take as many breaks within that minute as you need to. As always, try to have as much intensity or as little rest as possible. You're going to have a better workout, but use the rest to whatever extra fitness level you're at. And you always want to warm up a little bit. I always kind of get a little bit warmed up demonstrating the exercises, but even just doing always try to open up my hips a little bit, especially if I'm doing some leg work. It's really just something that kind of gets your heart beating and gets you moving. So for the timers, you can use a watch, or there's programs online where it just beeps every minute, so that way you just have to listen for the beep and you don't really have to pay attention to the time as much. Okay. All right. If anybody has any questions, just type a comment and I'll answer it after the workout. As always, I show tons of variations, so no matter what your fitness level, you're definitely able to participate, okay? So we'll get to it here. I'll start my timer, grab a drink quick, and then we'll get moving. Okay, so the thrusters are first. So with the deadlift too, it's really good to coordinate your breathing. Breathe out as you go up, in as you go down. Try to keep your abs tight. And with your hands, you try to rotate them out as you're holding the bar. That helps keep your shoulders in a good position. Try to take some deep breaths down into your stomach. Try to slow your breathing a little bit. Get ready for the thrusters here in a minute. That's getting tough. All right, round number 3. to deadlift, the other thing you want to do is try to screw your feet into the ground. Keeps your knees up just slightly. Keeps your legs in a good, stable position. Getting mixed up here. Alright, I'm going to go a little lighter on the arm. And alternate the side plates each time. So I'll do 2 on the right and 2 on the left. I'm going to do 4 rounds. Whew. Try to keep the hip up as high as you can. Your arm's going to be burning. Try to fight through it. Deep breaths. Okay. 1 more round. 1 more round. Take a couple deep breaths. Try to control your breathing. Keep the abs tight. Oh, I always think doing the sideline now. Guess I'm switching up. Deep breaths. Try to control the breathing. feel pretty good with that. I'm going to start with 4 rounds. And I'll shoot for 5 at another time. But then, now that you're nice and warmed up, it's a good time to do a little bit of stretching since your muscles are warm. Most people, especially if you sit at a desk where you're looking down at your phone a lot, doing a pec stretch in a doorway, so your arms are like this and you're kind of stepping through. It's a good exercise for a good stretch. You feel it across the front of your chest. Try to keep your body pretty upright and just lean forward into the stretch. Feel a nice stretch opening up the front of your chest. Having 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, kind of pushing with the back leg. Do that for 30 seconds to a minute or so. Another really good stretch for your hip is kneeling. If you need to hold on to a chair or something, go ahead and do that. And just squeezing your butt and pushing that hip forward. And stretch the thigh a little bit too, as well as the front of the hip. If you can get that back foot up, squeeze your butt to try to push your hip forward. You should feel a nice stretch in the front of the thigh. If that's a little bit difficult to hold it there, you can go next to the couch or a wall and put that foot up. And you can have your chair or whatever to stabilize. That way you don't have to try to balance and hold your foot. Again, keep the low back, your abs engaged, squeeze the butt. I don't want you to arch at the back. Just feel in the front of your hip, not as much in the back. You can switch sides. This left side's a little tighter for me. So there, less than 20 minutes. Get your heart rate pumping. Get breathing hard. It was a great workout for me. All right. So if you're having pain or trouble moving, message me. We can set up a telehealth conference and I can help you. All right, have a good day. Leave a comment if you find these workouts are helpful. Thanks.